Use factoring to find the zeros of f of x equals 2x squared plus x minus 10. Okay, now, so in this case, we see that the degree of this polynomial is 2. Okay, this is a quadratic equation, and the 2 tells us that we should have two zeros. Okay, now, in this case, how are we going to factor this guy? Okay, so using our techniques for factoring, in this case, let's use the so-called AC method. Okay. All right, so we know in this case, A is equal to 2, B is equal to 1, C is equal to negative 10. So what we want to do, right, is we want to multiply A times C together. Okay, so in this case, A times C equals negative 20. Okay, so now we want to find two numbers. Okay, so find two numbers whose, and there's two conditions here, right? The product. If you multiply two numbers together, your product is negative 20. But when you add them together, right, the sum is B, right? In this case, 1. Okay? So you notice, okay, what are the two numbers so such that when I multiply them together, I get negative 20, but when I add them together, I get positive 1. And in this case, we should get positive 5 and negative 4, right? These are the two numbers. So 5 times negative 4 is negative 20, but 5 plus negative 4 gives us positive 1. Okay? So then what the next step in the AC method is, we're going to rewrite this guy. Okay, so I'm going to come back here to the left side, 2x squared, right, plus 5x minus 4x minus 10, right? So all I did is I rewrote the middle term, right? I rewrote the middle term using the two numbers that I just found. Okay? And now we're going to factor this by grouping. Okay, we're going to take the first two terms, the last two terms, and factor those. So we get x, 2x plus 5. And here we have a 2 and we have a 2x plus 5 here. And the last step would be 2x plus 5 is the same in the parentheses, and then we'll just take the x minus 2, and there we go, right? We have successfully factored this. Now once again, these are the factors, right? These are not the zeros. But to find the zeros is just one extra step, right? To find the zeros, we just set each factor equal to 0. So here we'll subtract the 5, so 2x equals negative 5, and then x equals negative 5 over 2. And then here we'll add the 2 to both sides, so we get x equals positive 2. Okay? So these are our zeros. Okay? We also call them roots or solutions. Okay? So why are these called zeros? Well, because if you plug in, right, if you find f of negative 5 over 2, so you plug in a negative 5 over 2 back into the original polynomial, work everything out, we should get 0. Similarly, you plug in positive 2 back into the original polynomial, work everything out, okay, and we should get 0.